So the up and down season continues for the Boston Bruins as they come back from the All-Star break. In fact, you could say it started in the All-Star break with a miserable 6-2 loss against the Anaheim Ducks. Speaking of the All-Star break, let's talk a little bit about the Bruins. Considering the All-Star break is the halfway point of the season, or technical halfway point of the season for the NHL, as the Bruins came in to this midway point as the highest scoring team in the Atlantic Division with 147 goals for. However, they rank 4th in goals against at 131. At the time of the All-Star break, they were 4th in their division. Now, the thing is, they have 6 players in double-digit goals. Hell, even Zach Ronaldo has a goal, and he is terrible. The problem is not the offense. I think you know where I'm going, because the problem isn't Tuukka Rask either, my friends. Tuukka Rask has been playing out of his mind the last couple of games, most of the season, in fact. The problem, defense. Defense. Zdeno Chara is old. Dennis Seidenberg, 35 years old. He's getting up there too. Torrey Krug, he's probably among your best two-way defensemen that you have. Colin the Howitzer Miller, the second best offensive defenseman that you have. Adam McQuaid, he's out. He's hurt still. And he's been injured most of his career with a lot of different injuries. That leaves your 6th and 7th defensemen, or 5th, 6th, 7th, and 7th defensemen for most of the season being Zach Trotman, Kevin Miller, and Joe Morrow. And those are your combinations. One of those two is going to play every game for the Bruins. Kevin Miller's been getting the majority of it. So Kevin Miller's been the majority of your 5th defenseman, with Zach Trotman being the 6th, and throwing Joe Morrow in a little bit as well. Joe Morrow in the game tonight, by the way, as Colin Miller taken out for whatever reason. Now, this team needs a top 6 defenseman badly. Considering you traded the future of your organization in a trade I still hate. Especially after you traded Milan Lucic, who comes to town Tuesday night. With that being said, there are a couple of names on the deadline list of players that are potential trade bait and rumors, including, obviously, Dustin Byfuglien, but also names Cam Fowler, among others, that could potentially come to Boston. This is a trade that needs to happen. You have some assets. You have some pieces that you can trade off. You can potentially move Louis Eriksson. I know he's one of your 6 players in double digits. But you also have Ryan Spooner, who's moving up. David Pastrnak. And a lot of talent in your offense. So with that being said, let's move on to today's game. But first, let's go over the week that was Boston hockey, as they took a terrible 4-3 overtime loss against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know you get a point, but you got to take more than that against the lowly Leafs, and you can't blow 2-goal leads. It aggravates me. It aggravates fans. It aggravates the coach. It aggravates everyone. However, they go on the road, and they play the Buffalo Sabres, and they get a 3-2 shootout win against the Buffalo Sabres. And it is the second game of a home-and-home with the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Can they pull it off on their own ice? I know this is a very lengthy introduction, but I had to get all the All-Star crap out of the way. This is the Bruins Recap Show. So as I stated earlier, Colin Miller is out, Joe Morrow is in, Jonas Kemppainen sent down to Providence. He has not been doing good lately. I think he was like a -12. So yeah, send him down. He needs a little work. Old man Max Talbot, he comes back up. He's in your lineup tonight. So we're going to start it off with a beautiful goal. David Pastrnak on the back check. Tips a play off. It finds the stick of David Krejci. David Krejci fires it right down back to Pastrnak, who fake slaps it over to Louis Eriksson. A wide open net. And you can't miss that. as Louis Eriksson will make it a 1-0 hockey game. And it's a pretty good period for the Boston Bruins outside of 2 very lackluster penalties against them. One of which being a phantom hooking call against Torrey Krug. But a great opening period, but 20 minutes a hockey game does not make, my friends. We go to the second period, and not a good way to start it off. Wide open net, Connolly, he misses, and I've said it many a times, and I'll say it again. Bench Connolly. Hashtag bench Connolly. So we go over later on in the period, and another turnover by Brett Connolly as the Buffalo Sabres are able to make it in. Ryan O'Reilly, he takes the shot, and Sam Reinhart gets the rebound as Zdeno Chara, looking like Bobby Orr on Causeway Street. That's right, he statued it himself. 1-1 hockey game, and it's a tied game. So the Bruins in the third will need a better 20-minute effort, and they need to capitalize on their chances. And they got to get these 2 points. It is crucial to get these 2 points and potentially jump up into second place in the division. So, nothing doing in the third period. Very entertaining, high-tempo period. Nerve-wracking as Buffalo was able to get a lot of good chances, but so did the Bruins nonetheless. This is the third straight game that has gone to overtime this week. Overtime! So, hold on to your tickers, folks. So in the overtime, and Brad Marchand will intercept a pass between 2 Buffalo defensemen. Rostalainen, one of them, he throws a stick at Marchand. He hugs him, he kisses him, he holds him, he grabs his butt. It does everything he can to make sure that Marchand doesn't get the breakaway, which draws a penalty shot in overtime. Brad Marchand will take the penalty shot. He goes on the forehand. He goes to the backhand. He puts it up and roofs it. And for the game winner for Boston, Brad Marchand, white hot right now. 9 goals in his last 9 games. A game winner, puts it to bed on the penalty shot. 4th game winner of the season for Brad Marchand. And the Bruins will take this one in overtime on the penalty shot. That's a weird way to say it. Anyway, let's go quickly to our 3 stars of the game. Star number 3, I know we got the game winner, but it was only on a penalty shot, so I can't give you that much credit, Braddy boy. Brad Marchand, star number 3. Star number 2, what an assist, and what a defensive effort prior to the assist to make a great play overall. It's David Pastrnak. This kid's got to get some more ice time. He is phenomenal out there. And your number 1 star, who else? 2 U's, 2 K's, 2 big points in overtime. Tuukka Rask, 37 saves, and they were all big boys. Anyway, so the anticipation, now you can feel it. You can cut it with a knife as everybody's anticipating the Los Angeles Kings coming to Boston on Tuesday night. And that means the return of number 17, lead skates, Milan Lucic. It's going to be a doozy. We'll see you there on the next Bruins Recap Show.